Greetings everyone and welcome to my YouTube channel. I'm your host Captain Rye, and today's YouTube video has got me back in my all-time favorite destroyer in the game, and what is still technically my best ship. That's right, I'm back in my Fletcher, doing unspeakable things to the enemy team, but of course you would expect nothing less. The battle is Ridge, or Mountain Range, and it is Domination Match Mode. I have pushed up to the B cap point while my team is heading to both A and C. All of the people over here with me have opted to go to C rather than help me push the B cap point. And of course, as I get in here, I've immediately spotted one of the two enemy Fletchers. And having this guy over here, not a very good thing for me. Now, of course, I'm asking desperately for some backup and support because I want to deal with this guy as quickly as possible. Now, he has taken a little more damage than I have, but I don't want to just sit around and wait for him to come get me. And of course, this guy is also not going to sit around in his smoke screen. As you can see, firing off a nice wide spread there, he manages to avoid all of those, which means he was probably a little more forward of where I launched those off. But there's another set of torpedoes coming in, and those are going to miss him as well, so he is moving around rather than just sitting in his smoke screen. And there he is. Now, given the situation, I open up with guns because I'm already detected, and I'm maneuvering hard, so I might as well take some shots at him and not just sit here and tank the damage. He might only be a destroyer, but I definitely don't want to tank any damage as long as I can. Now he pushes back behind my smokescreen, and he's going to push into my smokescreen, which means a line of sight has been broken, and I can now stop firing, drop off detectability, and actually push back up and deal with him. The enemy team has managed to capture the A cap point, and my team is still mostly trying to push C. Now, I'm going to have some assistance over here at the B cap point. As you can see on the mini-map, I've got a friendly cruiser pushing up here. I have one set of torpedoes that's up. That was the set that didn't get knocked out earlier. So I fire them off where I think this destroyer is going to be, and I've gotten close enough. He's popped up as my smokescreen dissipates while he fires away. Now I manage to set him on fire. Can I do more damage to him? Ooh, he's a little late on getting going, and my torpedoes hit him for a confirmed kill. So there's my first kill in the game. The enemy team loses that ship as well as a cruiser. My team is now in the process of capping C, and now I can get in and start capping B. And this is going to be important as the enemy team takes out yet another ship. And we could really use those points, as it is now the enemy team, because they have the one cap, and we're equal on ships, does have the points advantage. Though it's important to note that my team has a destroyer advantage, and that destroyer advantage is going to come into play later in this game. Now, there's a little bit of a lull in the action.
The enemy team has taken the lead.
I can safely muse on the upcoming changes in patch 6.3, the stealth firing nerf that's coming out across the board. This includes premium ships too, which is a little bit of a topic of debate here, whether or not they should be able to do it. But like the changes to the 127mm guns that they came out with a long time ago back in the open beta that impacted the Atlanta and the Sims, this is a global nerf and it's affecting everything. So it's not just one ship that's getting hit, it's the entirety of the game. I have mixed feelings about this. On one hand, I'm hoping that it'll kind of buff the German destroyer line a little bit, either directly or indirectly, directly by reducing its gun range bloom down to just its, gun range. But And indirectly in the respect that now other ships are also going to be visible when they fire their guns. It's going to definitely change the way you play sneaky destroyers. So something like the Fletcher, something like the Gearing, something like the Z-52, these ships are now definitely more in the torpedo boat category. You play them with your concealment, and you really only open up with your guns when you absolutely have to. And if you've ever watched any of my Fletcher gameplay, especially gameplay like this one, you'll notice that I do that a lot. I don't open up with my guns unless I absolutely have to, unless it's advantageous for me, and I'm in a position where I can either pop my smoke screen and not be seen, or the enemy ship is by himself and otherwise distracted by other things. Now, the enemy team has managed to take out one of our destroyers, but we still do have a destroyer advantage. I managed to hit a Colorado with some torpedoes earlier, so my damage is quite high, quite nice. I tried to lay a smoke screen down for the friendly cruiser that's behind me in an effort to help try and break the line of sight for him. And I've decided, and this is one of those situations, talking about my guns, where I'm behind a smoke screen, so I'm not detected when I'm firing. And I can just sit here, and I can put shots out onto these ships. Enemy Mogami, though, sailing in a nice straight line, in spite of the fact that there's obviously a destroyer up here with a smoke screen. He slows down and stops way too late in the game, and I managed to hit him with 2 and cause flooding. The battleship, though, of course, he manages to dodge all of them, and that is one of the biggest things I dislike about the German battleships, or playing against them, is that their rudder shift time seems entirely too fast for a ship that size. It's like the Yamato. It's not supposed to move that quickly. Another set of torpedoes back up, fire them off at that battleship. With any luck, I'll be able to hit him and cause some flooding, because I know I set him on fire earlier, or he was on fire earlier, so he's probably not got his damage control ability. I've stopped firing with my guns, again, in an effort to stay concealed as long as possible. Now, that battleship is very distracted, and yes, I am going to hit him with a torpedo. He's on fire. He is now flooding, and I'm detected through his hydro, so I'm going to go ahead and open up anyway. And can I get the kill on this guy? Come on. Come on. Let's do it. Yes, managed to secure the kill through flooding. Very, very good battle for me. Now, what I need to have happen is I need to have that cruiser get offed. But of course, because I fired my guns, I am detected. So, stop firing my guns. It's only 23 seconds, and I can drop off detectability, and I can no longer be seen. Dodging shots coming in there from the Colorado. I feel bad for that Colorado, of course, a Tier 7 battleship in a Tier 9 battle. But I also am kind of surprised that he would opt to shoot at a destroyer at that kind of range with those guns. They are pretty accurate, but the dispersion on just 4 shells is not the best. Now my smoke screen is back up again, and I'm going to pop it here so that I can shoot at this Mogami. With any luck, I can set him on fire. Now he is backing up, and it kind of looked like he was starting to move forward again, but that is actually not the case. So I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to fire off a set of torpedoes at him, but this is when he slows down and stops and starts moving forward again, so those torpedoes are going to miss, which is a little disappointing. He's taking shots out at the friendly battleship that's behind me, who is trying desperately to push up into my smoke screen to break that line of fire. Enemy destroyer pops up. He's very low health. As he disappears, I take one last shot out at him where I think he is, and those shots do find their mark and finish him off. The friendly battleship behind me, however, is not able to get into the smoke screen quickly enough to avoid the incoming fire, and he is taken out through fire and flame and all of the other bad things the enemy team has brought upon him. At this point, the only thing that my team has going for it is that it has 2 of the 3 caps, and it still has 3 of its original 4 destroyers. Other than that, we're exactly equal on teams list. Now, remember when I said that having this destroyer advantage, especially late in game, is a huge thing? Well, this is where it's going to come into play, because now there's only 1 sneaky destroyer left in the game, and we have no idea where this guy is. More importantly, because there's only 1 and the positioning of the other enemy ships basically means that he can't protect all of them. He can only help spot and detect incoming torpedoes on a few of them. I have both sets of torpedoes up here, and I fire them off at the Iowa, 1 ahead of the lead indicator and 1 on the lead indicator, but then the Iowa turns. He's going to straighten out, and he's going to go behind those islands. So that's going to throw off the lead completely. Really disappointing that those are effectively going to miss. Especially when you consider that there's a nice fat battleship coming around the side of this island. And here comes some torpedoes, and those are either from the Mogami or are from the Neptune. Going to borrow friendly destroyer smokescreen here and shoot at this battleship. And this battleship is in a world of hurt, as he has got a whole spread of torpedoes coming from all the different directions. There's really not much he can do. He's taking fire from at least 2 destroyers and, of course, our own battleship as well. He eats a huge amount of damage. He's on fire. He's flooding. There's no doubt there. He gets taken out from a main battery hit. This now puts my team in the lead. We have 2 caps. We have 5 ships to the enemy's 4. But where is that sneaky destroyer? This is the only thing that I'm concerned about at this point. Everything else I could probably pretty much deal with, especially the Mogami, who's incredibly low health if it came down to it. But that enemy destroyer could be anywhere, and I don't know how much HP he has. And that concerns me. Now I'm going to push up here and put myself into a position to do a torpedo attack on that Iowa, because I really want to hit that Iowa. I fire off torpedoes a little bit forward of the lead indicator here, because I think he's going to straighten out and basically just hit his acceleration. So I push that out, and that's when the C cap is starting to be capped. So that tells us that the enemy destroyer, that sneaky destroyer, has actually flanked all the way around us, back behind us, to try and capture one of our bases. And that's actually a really smart move. It keeps us guessing where he's at. More importantly, it's going to cause us to divert our attention, and it's going to distract us, as well as gain a base for his team, and his team really does need a base. We managed to take out the low health Mogami, so he is no more, and my team is down, or the enemy team's down to 3. Nope, now they're down to 2, as I do manage a successful torpedo attack on that Iowa, who did exactly what I hoped he was going to do. So as I push up here towards the C-cap point, I'm going to try and spot this destroyer. He's the only one left, and he is full strength. Holy crap. I'm about half strength. I immediately slam on my brakes, pop my smoke screen, because I need to not be shot at by this guy. I can't get into a gun duel with him by myself.
Engine boost activated.
Now, I know that he's there, and my team knows that he's there. As you can see, they're turning around to engage him, and engage him heavily. Now, I'm backing up out of my smoke screen because I know how close he was, and I'm willing to bet that he has got torpedoes headed in my direction. It only makes sense.
Torpedoes direct.
Now, I'm not sure if he's the one with the RDF skill or if it's the Neptune behind me. But either way, one of them knows exactly the location that I'm at, and I'm pretty sure that it's him. So he knows I'm in here. Now, as I come out, he's actually managed to pull a huge turnaround and has got himself basically almost behind an island, which is an excellent play. A really good skill and skilled player in the Fletcher to be able to keep the enemy guessing. In my case, keep me guessing as to where I think he's going to be. Now I fire off torpedoes back around that island in an effort to hopefully try and catch him sitting back there. Friendly destroyer starts opening up on him, and now this Fletcher has got his engine knocked out, and he's in a world of hurt. You'll notice, though, that I'm on 4 kills, and I only need 1 more for a Kraken, so I'm definitely gunning for this guy as well. Now, he ducks behind an island that blocks the shots coming from the other friendly destroyer, but that guy did a lot of damage to him, so he's very low health. Managed to set him on fire. He's almost dead. Can I get the kill? Come on, get there, get there. Yes! Kraken unleashed. And now I'm in the C cap point and capping C. And this just leaves 1 enemy cruiser versus 2 destroyers, a cruiser, and a battleship. And we're all at least half health. But this guy is full health. Now, if he has any of his consumables left and he plays it really, really well, he could, theoretically, still win this. Although, given that it's me playing, and given that I know how to play as a sneaky boat, and utilize my team when they are causing a distraction to set up devastating strikes, this cruiser really doesn't have too much of a chance, but he is going to try his hardest. We managed to cap the C cap point, again putting us back in the points lead, as well as having the ship's lead, having the points lead with both caps. However, guy in the Neptune, he's going to push up and he's going to contest the B cap point as our Gneisenau pushes up to try and deal with him and counter him. Now I am close enough that I'm detected when I fire, and I expect this to be the case no matter what in the upcoming patches. But this guy, very distracted, so I'm not that concerned. He is getting worn down by battleships, cruisers, destroyers. He's getting wasted. But he is going to take out our Gneisenau. Unfortunate for him, however, he's incredibly low health. Gonna get torpedoes off where I think he's gonna go, but he gets taken out then and there. And that is a victory for my team. I did a reasonable 158,000 damage in that battle. Confederate, high caliber, and Kraken unleashed. 620,000 credits earned in that battle. But take a look at that XP. 10,700 XP and 2,100 free XP earned. Of course, right now, thanks to the XP conversion sale, I don't need free XP at all in any faction. Top of the team for XP earned, no surprise there. What is a surprise is that the Udaloy and myself both earning over 2,000 base XP, putting us at the top of 1 and 2 slots. So good job to the player in the Udaloy for doing such an amazing job in this battle. Anyway, that's it for today's video, folks. If you liked the video, hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, leave a comment down below. If you'd like to get semi-regular channel news and updates, you can do so by liking and following me on Facebook. If you'd like to help support me and my channel, as well as get access to these replays early, you can do so by becoming my supporter on Patreon. Any support level will grant you access to these replays. If you've got a replay like this one that you'd like to see on my channel, you can send it to my email. And if you'd like to watch me play World of Warships live, among other games such as Armored Warfare and possibly in the future Ghost Recon, you can do so by liking and following me on Twitch. You can find the links for all of those in the video description down below. And as always, I'll see you next time. This is Captain Rye, signing off.